I'm sure every candidate will be available afterwards if you had unanswered questions.
Okay, we're doing pretty good on our schedule. I mean, we are smack dab on Cindy's schedule here. Our next speaker is Mr. Wayne Christian, candidate for Railroad Commissioner. Did you bring your train with you? Okay.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. It is an honor to be here this evening. My name is Wayne Christian. Some of you know me, and so I'm blown up there since you know me. Some of you, it might be a bad impression already. But honestly, I was the first Republican elected in Deep East Texas since Reconstruction to the Texas House back in 1996. I was served for 14 years in the Texas House, and quite frankly, when some people took control that claimed to be conservatives, and I kept having town hall meetings. I led the Conservative Coalition for 3 terms. I was on the founding member of the Tea Party Caucus of the Texas Legislature on the board. Many of you worked with me through the years in trying to get conservative government in the state of Texas, and we've been Texas because of a lot of different reasons been mentioned tonight, and I'll mention just a few. But let me say this, you have some good men of character that are here tonight that have already spoken that will speak to you, and Texas has some good opportunities, but Texas is under attack, as has been said. They want to take Texas blue. They have Mr. Obama that's come to this state. They're raising money for Battleground Texas. And Glenn and Todd have said it correctly. It's because if they ever lose Texas to the Republican side, to the conservative side, we will never see a United States with a conservative president in our lifetime, our children's lifetime. I first ran for government back whenever I first got involved in my local church, and Miss Ann Richards, who was governor, decided she's going to pass a bill called Adolescence Pregnancy Prevention and Control, which is sex education for my 3 young little girls. And when I read what sex education they wanted to teach in my public school in Center, Texas, I didn't agree with that. And so I went to my local board of deacons that I was on the deacon body at the church, and I said, guys, we need to do something about this. This is just wrong. It's what they're trying to teach. And all of a sudden I got an answer from my board of deacons. Anybody can guess what it was? Separation of church and state. We can't do anything about that. So my wife and I organized the Christian Coalition in our county. We started fighting that across the state of Texas, and after we finally beat Ann Richards in that movement, all of a sudden some folks asked me, Wayne, you're a loudmouth, why don't you run for government? You could be a good politician. So I did. I ran for office and wound up there, and then my wife told me, said, now you're going to go up to Austin and you'll become a squish. You know, like them other guys. You'll get up there and promise you're going to be conservative. And so I was determined that my wife was not going to call me a squish. And so I continued to watch very carefully of how I voted in the Texas legislature. And I'm honored to say that in my last few sessions, I was the only 100% voting record for the Texas Eagle Forum. I was the only 100% conservative voting record for the Texas Conservative Digest. I've been A-rated significantly. I'm a lifetime member of the National Rifle Association, right to carry permit. And I believe that the biggest problem in this United States ain't government, it's that the church has abdicated its place as the moral compass in our society. There is no mystery, folks, there is no mystery that we have successfully told people they can't talk about politics in the church house, and they can't talk about God in the Lions Club, Rotary Club, JC Club, so we've kicked God out of the clubhouse, and we've kicked politics out of the church house, and we can't figure what's going wrong with the ignorant, godless society. It's not rocket science, it's East Texas logic. And thank God for your organization and this church that will allow us to meet here tonight. I mean, this is something that we in Texas still have control of. But folks, it's under attack big time. I served in the Texas House. I am endorsed in this race so far by over 200 conservatives, and David Barton and Rick Green and lots of different folks, over 200 conservative Tea Party endorsements and legislative endorsements, more than any other candidate. So I'm very honored to have those people supporting the fight. And the reason I'm running is because after 14 years of being in the Texas legislature, I was able to be part of, I remember when Mr. Obama in his second address to Congress. He said, I'm willing to experiment with tort reform and see if it works, lawsuit reform. He don't have to. We done been there, done that in Texas. In 2004, I was a joint author of the bill that limited lawsuits, frivolous lawsuits on medical profession. The year after we passed lawsuit reform in the state of Texas, we had the three biggest states in the nation, California, New York, Texas. They had 175 doctors move to New York, 177 moved to California, 1,900 plus doctors after lawsuit reform came to the state of Texas. In the last decade, folks, we in Texas have created 52% of all the jobs created in the United States. Last year, over 900,000 jobs in this country were created by oil and gas in the United States. And guess how many in Texas? 450,000. Do you know that after all these years of having to bend down to the OPEC, to the Mid-East for oil and gas, that Texas right now is that the United States right now is the #1 producer of oil and gas on planet Earth, and Texas is the #1 producer in the United States. And we've got a president. Now understand, I watched Band of Brothers with my son-in-law over the Christmas holidays, and I mean, those guys in World War I and all of our veterans, I commend each of you here this evening. God bless you. We owe the rights that we're here for in worship and this to you veterans and to our servicemen and women overseas right now or in service right now. And what kills me is that you see the service and the lives lost in our military many times because we have to protect that oil and gas right in the Mid-East. Now that we're independent, we're working toward independence, less young lives will have to be risked overseas with the United States not having to lean on the Middle East for oil and gas. But we have a president that not only wants to take Texas blue, ladies and gentlemen, he wants to take it green. And green, clean energy by Mr. Obama is anything except Texas oil, gas, and coal. He's used the endangered species list to shut down 1,400 acres in my home area over here in Sabine and St. Augustine counties this November over 2 flowers. He's got the prairie chicken up in the Panhandle closing thousands of acres to oil and gas. Lizard out in West Texas. It's insane. If it weren't, understand, us right-wing, conservative, God-fearing folks about 5 or 6 years ago, people laughed at us how crazy. That would never happen, what we were talking about. I'm hating to tell you, folks, we're seeing it happen. We're seeing it happen with Obamacare taking over the greatest medical system in the history of planet Earth that we have in this country. People come here to get cured, and nobody goes away from here to get cured of something. We've got a president that's trying to destroy it as fast as he can. But not only that, the federal government, all through Barney Frank and Chris Dodd, passed the Financial Institutions Act. A lot of people aren't as aware of that and what it amounts to, but you know what's going on at your local bank? The Federal Reserve has told your local bank that they can't pay over 1% interest to any of us. Why? Because they need that money at 3% going to Washington, D.C. to keep the presses rolling, to put our grandkids and our great-grandkids in debt for $19 trillion in debt, more than I can even think of in money. So they've taken over the banking system, the free market banking system. They've taken over the medical system. And folks, guess what? Texas is the only threat. You've heard here tonight. They want to take it blue. They want to take it green. Mr. Obama wants to stop fracking. He wants to stop all kinds anyway so that he can stop Texas from being Texas. My fear is 80% of the people have no clue what the Railroad Commission does. 80% have no clue. And guess who Mr. Obama and the Democrats have nominated for the Railroad Commission this November on the Democrat ballot? With 80% of the folks not knowing what the Railroad Commission does, easily good advertising, lots of money, which Obama and crew are raising lots of money. And the advertising goes out, and all of a sudden they got a Mr. Brown running for Railroad Commissioner. Mr. Brown is from Houston. He works for Congress Lady Sheila Jackson Lee. And he worked during the Clinton administration for Mr. Al Gore. Al Gore of fame of who through global warming. Isn't that a hoot, y'all, that bunch of Greenpeace folks that got in the ship and headed off to prove in an article that global warming was destroying the world and they got frozen? Great. You know, but let me tell you something. If it weren't truth, it'd be so funny. But folks, the sad thing is, it's happening to us. I'm expecting my first grandchild any day now. First grandchild. I got 3 daughters, and so any day I'm going to get a phone call and have that first grandchild, and I'm scared to death of what future we're going to be leaving that kid. And that's why I'm running. After 14 years, I received the honor and distinction. They were talking about, Todd talked about the American Legislative Exchange Conference, which is the Jeffersonian national organization for legislators on conservative principles, and I was so honored to be named Legislator of the Year in the United States a couple of sessions ago as Legislator of the Year for the American Legislative Exchange Conference. And that was such an honor because Ronald Reagan, William Bennett, George H.W. Bush, some others' names were on that list, and what an honor to be there. The same year in Texas, Texas Monthly named me top 10 worst legislator in the state. Now I'm thinking only me could be best in the nation and worst in the state all at the same time. And the reason was, the quote from Texas Monthly, Paul Burkle, was, Wayne Christian's legislative agenda reads as a social conservative's playbook to do away with property taxes. Had Art Laffer come here and study property taxes in the state of Texas, and you go to the Texas Public Policy Foundation, and there's a brochure on what it would take to do away with property tax in the state. And I introduced that bill and tried to pass it, and we can go into the details on that, but it's a long deal, but that's a good resource for you to look at. But I introduced that bill and tried to pass it in the state. It's amazing. We also fought not only lawsuit reform, do away with property taxes. We passed the bill in Texas that changed the Texas Workforce Commission from the Texas Unemployment Commission, and were able to require anybody. I was on Human Services, me and Arlene Woolgamuth and Talmadge Heflin passed a bill that required if anybody wanted welfare in the state, they first had to go to the Workforce Commission, that used to be the Unemployment Commission, and apply for a job. Lo and behold, 25% of the folks dropped out of welfare the first year we required them to apply for a job. And it's remarkable. And what was unbelievable, they call us conservatives heartless. I can remember the grandmother over in Nacogdoches at a 7-Eleven store came crying to me saying, Mr. Christian, thank y'all for doing that. Said I had my first job. This was the first Christmas I was able to buy my grandkids a Christmas present, and I'm so proud. We conservatives have lost the book on telling people who really cares about people in this country. We care about people and want them to have the best American dream. And Mr. Obama, his group, folks, hate to tell you, they're winning. Texas is the last shot. Folks, and we've got to continue to hold on to what we have. This election is so important. We don't need to get our eyes off the ball and our eyes off the prize. And if you look around tonight, I commend you. I commend Mike, all your group here, the conservatives, those that will take the time to show up, these candidates that have run, these good folks that have served in office. God bless, we've got to stand up. Let me tell you something. We talked about character a little bit. Let me tell you what character. I think former Congressman Bob McEwen, I heard great tape he does on the internet. Look up Bob McEwen, Congressman Bob McEwen. He was in Ronald Reagan's administration. He was the one that helped the Ukraine seek freedom. He's an economist. He said character is defined by his little daughter went to school one day and came back and said, Daddy, they were calling Sally fat. And they said, Sally's fat, Sally's fat. And I didn't do it. I didn't call her fat. He said, yes, but did you do what was the right thing to do? And that's the difference on politicians, folks, that you can real quickly tell. Is everybody will say, I ain't going to do it. I'm not going to vote for that. I'm not going to vote for that. Well, yeah, you can not do something, but you need to look for men and women that will stand up and do the right thing. And that means stand out there and take a stand for what we believe, not just sit back and say no. And I'm honored to be with Glenn and with Todd and others and the congressman applicant here that I think these guys believe it. They're standing up. They're fighting the fight. And I've been with Glenn, I've been with Todd as we fought those battles and stood up. And folks, let me tell you,